What's up? I literally just started recording and Hades immediately started yelling. Come say hello then, Hades. Come on. You starting the video off, are you? No? You want to go? Okay, bye then. Why are you soggy? Have you been lying down in your water bowl again? What a start to the video. Hades, for some reason just sits in his water bowl. He'll just lie down just on top of it. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. I planned on doing an actual subreddit intro at the start there, but Hades had other ideas. Today we're going to be taking a look at r/LGBallT because I wanted some funny, wholesome, enjoyable queer memes today. That's the kind of vibe I'm feeling, so that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna look at. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month, so if that's something that interests you, please do consider joining the channel, as it really helps support. Other than that, let's get straight into the subreddit, shall we? OMG, where'd my gender go? Someone must have stole it. Gender fluid? What? Gender fluid, gosh darn, stealing my gender again. I will catch you next time, gender fluid. I do love the smudging of them drawing the gender onto themselves at the back though. I like that. Dad, there's no such thing as non-binary. Oh, okay. I hoped I wouldn't need these again. She is so good at drawing, isn't she? It's they. A couple hours later. I love this guy. Hey, Spoods. I'm gonna be real and talk about the fact that a bit of advice that I feel like is given in a lot of these situations is kind of shit. When met with, homophobic, transphobic, whatever, phobic family members, a lot of people will tell you that it's temporary and that when you're old enough, you can move out and you'll be able to get away from those people and move on, right? But it's not really a solution. It's a thing you can do, but if you care about your family, regardless of these things, you care about your family, so just abandoning them and running away isn't really the solution you want, regardless of whether, that would actually be the best thing for your mental health. But also it doesn't solve the problem. The things we can try to do, and they won't always work, but if you care about someone, trying to change their view, in a way that gets through to them, if it takes time, it takes time, but if they actually care about you, and this is the important thing, is if they actually care about you, then through trying, you will eventually get through to these people, right? If they don't actually care about you, and you don't ever get through to those people, then yeah, the realistic thing you have to do for your own sake is to get away from those people, right? Because they don't care about you anyway. But if people actually care about you, then their views can and will change, because you existing can and will change those things, and it will take time. They'll have to get over their prejudices. You'll have to educate them on things, but it will happen eventually, and you will get there eventually, and things will get better without you having to run away. Because a lot of the advice that I hear is wait till you're 18 and move out, and that's just always rubbed me the wrong way, Are you a man or a woman? Kind of both and kind of neither. But are you trans-masc or trans-femme? Kind of both, kind of neither. AFAB or AMAB? Kind of both, kind of neither. And you know what? You're valid all the way through. No matter what, you are valid. I feel like that's all I need to say on the subject. You're valid. You are absolutely valid. No matter how many flags you keep adding because the people keep asking questions, you're valid. You're valid. My boyfriend came out as trans. Cool. Are you bi or something now? What? I'm straight. He was born a woman. I like girls. Bonk. So, really important thing is that there is, in fact, a term that is basically for this situation, right? Which is heteroflexible. The thing with sexuality is that it is fluid, right? Your sexuality isn't limited to any one thing that society tells you it needs to be, okay? If you were dating who was originally identifying as a woman and has come out as a trans man, it is okay to not immediately recognize what your sexuality is. It's okay to appreciate that you still love that person. However, you do need that introspection. You need to look inwards and see that person as they are. You know, you need to look at that person who is now a man and see them as a man, but accept that you still love them regardless of that fact. And that's basically what heteroflexible is, right? Because it's the understanding that there are 4 billion men on this fucking planet, right? And you might consider yourself straight and think that you only like women. But realistically speaking, do you not think that in 4 billion men, there wouldn't be at least some men that you're attracted to? That seems pretty implausible to me, you know, pretty unrealistic. I'm a pan person, and my view on sexuality at the end of the day is whoever is hot, right? Like, I get that. And sexuality is different for everyone. But the problem isn't that you see yourself as straight. The problem is that you don't see your partner as themselves, right? You can see yourself as heterosexual or heteroflexible, or you can introspect and realize that you are bi. I've got a hair on my face and it won't go away. Regardless, whatever, you have to recognize that if your partner has come out as trans, if your partner has come out as a trans man, they are a man and you are not in a straight relationship. And it is important that you recognize that for your partner more than anything else, that you are not in a straight relationship, right? You can keep loving them regardless. Like it's not a negative thing for you to be in love with a man. That can happen. That's fine. But you can't keep calling yourself just only straight and only recognize your relationship as a straight relationship when that's not what it is anymore. Sometimes I would doubt my trans identity and experiences because I still identified as a girl, or because I didn't feel as much dysphoria as normal trans guys and trans masks. It's fine with genitalia and sometimes chest, and heck, even sometimes like being called a girl. But then I would remember that I love that feeling of freedom when I finally accepted myself as a boy. I love when my family would use he, him pronouns for me. I love the idea of voice training to masculinize my voice. I love thinking about the future of growing up as a man. I love imagining the possibility of being someone's husband and someone's dad. I love being a boy. Still cis though? No, I'm trans. And I love being trans. What a wholesome, happy little comic. Genuinely, truly. I think the only thing I want to add, the only piece that I want to add to this discussion is when they talk about feeling less trans because they feel less dysphoria than other trans people, right? I think it is important that we focus less on the dysphoria with these things, right? Because dysphoria is different for everybody. Everyone feels dysphoria in different ways. Everyone experiences dysphoria differently. And yes, dysphoria is a part of being trans. But in my opinion, a significantly more important and a significantly larger part of being trans is euphoria, right? How you feel happy and comfortable identifying. The ways that you see yourself in the best way, you know? The happiness you feel from someone using the right pronouns. The happiness you feel from being perceived in a certain way and looking a certain way and sounding a certain way, right? That euphoria that you get from being the most comfortable version of you is the most important aspect of being trans. The dysphoria is a thing that people get and it comes and goes, but that's not what makes you trans. If you were AFAB, but you identify as a man, if identifying as a man is what gives you that euphoria, you're trans. That's the important part, okay? Not whether you are as dysphoric as other trans people or whether you experience being trans in exactly the same way as other people. What's important is the part that makes you happy and comfortable. That is the important part.
I will never be defeated.
Oh, really? Unlabeled term collector.
Uh-oh. No, you two can't defeat me.
I don't need a label. Just use every label that might apply. Our powers combine to create the I don't care beam.
Oh.
So I am personally of the opinion that labels don't really matter to me a huge amount. I recognize that I am non-binary and that I am pan in terms of my sexuality. However, the terms aren't really what make me the most comfortable. I don't really care for it, you know? I date whoever I date and I prefer they, them pronouns, and that's kind of it. That's, at the end of the day, that's the most of it. That makes me non-binary and it makes me pan, but those labels aren't important to me. However, I recognize that to a lot of people, labels are important, and people do want to have those labels to recognize what they are and who they are, right? And if that makes you the most comfortable, that is great. Labels, at the end of the day, are exactly what you want from them, right? If you don't care about labels, you don't need them. But if you do care about labels, pick the ones that are the most comfortable for you, right? At the end of the day, it's not about what labels you have. It's not about what those labels mean. It's about the labels that make you feel the most like you, right? So if you do feel like you need labels and you want those labels, don't get too caught up on exactly what labels there are and exactly what labels they mean, because people make new labels all the time. Labels have meanings, and there are so many meanings out there that it's easy to just get lost in this wave of information trying to find who you are. You know, if you don't know what pan is, you'll probably call yourself bi, and if you call yourself bi and that makes you feel good, then great. You don't need to dive in and discover all of the different like pansexual and other like multi-gender sexualities, right? You don't need to if you're happy identifying as bi, right? And I think that this is something important because people get caught up on it a lot. Other people can't label you, and it doesn't matter what other people think you are. The label that you are comfortable identifying as is your label, right? And you get to call yourself that. No one else gets to decide for you what your label is. And that is the most important part, okay? Labels are personal. They are for you. They are for you alone. Other people can have labels for themselves, but you don't get to label other people. That's it. That's all I have to say. I feel like I needed a rounding off point there, but that's kind of it. Women are women, no matter the sex. Men are men, in the same respect. Fluid or all, a mix of a few, half or none, if that suits you. You are what you are, no matter the parts, because what really matters is inside of our hearts. I feel like this carries on from my previous point. You are what you are. You are exactly who you say you are. And it's totally okay to not know, to be questioning, to call yourself something, and then to recognize that you were wrong, right? You might think that you're trans, and then find out that actually transitioning isn't for you. Or you might find out that you're not in fact, you know, a trans man, and that you're actually non-binary, and you don't like the binary of being a trans man. Or you might find that you're gender fluid or agender. And the same goes for sexuality. You might explore being bi and find out that you are in fact straight, or that you're actually gay and you've learned that now, or anything, asexual, like any of these things. I genuinely think that exploring these things for yourself is so incredibly healthy. You learn so much about yourself, and you'll be so much healthier in the future having explored these aspects of yourself. You should not be afraid to explore these things and to call yourself whatever makes you comfortable and to learn these things. And if you learn that the things you're calling yourself are not right anymore, that's okay. That is completely actually fine and okay. Like, don't let anybody tell you that exploring or being wrong is a bad thing. That is the best thing, because we learn from that. Run! They're coming to take your gender! What? Take my gender? That's not how any of that works. The gender hoarder. This is like the D&D DM style, going to the Feywild and the Fey asking if they can have your pronouns. Like, yeah, sure, of course you can. Who? Huh? What? Oh no, identity gone. Yo, bro, I'm actually gay. Whoa, bro, I didn't know you swing that way. What? We're not even on a swing. What the fuck? Damn, bro, I didn't know you swing that way. Honestly, I was expecting this to be a comic about like some straight guy going, well, you're not attracted to me, right? But no, I actually prefer the swing pun. That's funnier. Just, I don't know, I do find that kind of funny. That's a good comic. Thank you, OP. Hey, I just want to let you know that I identify as gender fluid now, and my pronouns change pretty often. Oh, cool. What are your pronouns today? He, him, today, probably. Thanks for asking. No problem. This comic could end here because it could be that easy. You could just do this. This could be it. However, there is a second panel because it's never that easy, is it? So I was talking to a gender fluid earlier and she said, hey, actually, I go by they, them pronouns today. Well, you were just using she, her yesterday, so I'm just going to use that today, okay? Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? People act like they care and act like they're going to try and do what they can and then don't. And it's really not that much work for someone to tell you their pronouns and for you to use their pronouns. And if they're gender fluid and their pronouns change, for you to use the pronouns that they prefer you use at that time. It's not that difficult. It's really not. And if you mess up, and people mess up, we're humans. Just apologize and move on. Like it's really not difficult. I feel like people that make a huge big deal out of apologizing as well, like it's just as bad. You're not making it better by making a huge deal out of apologizing. Just apologize and move on. I do have a question for gender fluid people watching this though, a genuine earnest question. That is, if I am talking about you to a friend for whatever reason, trust me, good reasons. I don't gossip about my friends to other friends. But say, I don't know, I was talking about coding and I was like, oh yeah, I have a friend that's coding and I refer to you. If I don't know what pronouns you're using that day and you're not present in that conversation, obviously if you're present, completely different story. I would ask, or you would probably have told me. But if you're not present, what pronouns should I refer to you as the last pronouns I was aware of, or gender neutral pronouns? Because I tend to orient towards gender neutral pronouns for someone who isn't present, who I'm not aware of how they are, like actively right now identifying, right? Is they, them, or gender neutral pronouns the right choice in this case? Or would you prefer I use the last pronouns you were using? Or is this a case by case thing where different people will feel differently about it? Which, now that I say it, is almost certainly true because everyone's different. So I don't know, let me know down below how you feel on that subject, because that's genuinely something that I would like to know more about and get right, I guess. So let me know down below, because this is genuinely something I'm interested in learning about. My parents think you turned me queer. I did. Sorry. Yeah, this is just how I'm gonna start responding to like transphobes and conservatives when they're like, oh, the trans and gay agenda is turning our kids gay. I'm just gonna start going, yeah, we are. Sorry about that. That's our goal. See how they react if I just start going, yeah, if you want us to, sure, that's what we're doing. But that is where I'm going to end the video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. All of your names are up on screen right now, and it genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. So thank you to everybody that does. Truly thank you. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.